If you know someone who would be an incredible guest for the show, so I'd love to hear about them. Just click the link below. And thank you all so much for being a part of this journey. I really appreciate you guys.
Your clients see more value in you than you see yourself.
Welcome to another fantastic episode of Purpose Driven Progress. As always, I'm your host, Jacob Hicks. And today I got to tell you guys, we've really got a home run of a guest coming on today. I'm bringing on John Ray. He is a value pricing and business development specialist who advises services professionals who sell their expertise. His clients include consultants, coaches, attorneys, accountants, and business advisors. John is also a podcast host and strategist who counsels clients on using a podcast for successful business development. John, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, Jacob. Thanks so much for having me. I've been looking forward to our discussion, and it's always great to be with you.
Yeah, man, it's, I got to tell you, because I was on your show, yesterday. It's really, really great to, find some folks like yourself to collaborate with, but I really want to dive into you a little bit more than we have been so far. So tell me, how does one become a value pricing and business development specialist? What's your journey? How did you get to where you are?
Well, you fall on your face with pricing first.
I think we've all done that a time or two.
Right. You fall on your face enough, bloody your nose, and you get frustrated, and you decide you've got to do something about it. That's really what it amounted to. I'm a mentor in a entrepreneurs group, so an up-and-coming entrepreneurs group. And one of the books they passed out was that Small Business for Dummies book.
Okay.
Not crazy about the name, but okay, let's go with it. But it's a pretty decent book. It's 250 pages, lots of great information in it. Out of those 250 pages, there are four and a half pages that touch on pricing. So
seems a little low.
This is a metaphor for what we deal with as business owners. We learn all sorts of things about marketing. We can pick that up in a heartbeat.
Yep.
We learn about our back office processes, how to get things done more efficiently, and what have you. There are a lot of things that we can pick up on our own. Pricing is one of those things one of those subject and issues that we just don't have a lot of ways to get educated about. And that's what frustrated me when I had issues and when I saw my clients having issues. So that's what made me passionate about it. And to dive in and to learn more, do the work, see where I was not on the right track, where I was blooding my nose,
Yeah.
and of course where I saw it in clients as well. And so that's what has made me passionate about this work and ultimately led to writing my book.
I love it. Well, and just while you were talking, it really to me it kind of sounds like, feels like it's like a similar discussion to like how I feel like how some people will talk about like personal finance, where they're like, oh, I never, you never hear about it. I never learned about it in school. I never learned about it in high school or whatever else. And I'm like, at least for me personally, I really believe that personal finance is kind of the foundation for any wealth building, regardless of how much money you might or might not make. And I think it's a topic, it's something that you have to pursue on your own. You just have to go out and figure out something that will work for you and how you like to run your life, right? Yeah. Is it fair to say that pricing is kind of in a similar boat?
That I hadn't really thought of that analogy before, but that's a beautiful analogy. You're exactly right. How they don't even teach you how to balance a checkbook in high school, right?
Yep.
But and it's the same way with, and that's basic. That kind of thing is basic. As you say, pricing is the fastest way to either destroy or to augment, improve your bottom line. Now, this is an accounting fact. This is not my opinion.
Yep.
So your pricing decisions are arguably the most important decisions you will make.
Yeah.
Yet we're not equipped, particularly as sellers of expertise, whether if we're coaches, consultants, attorneys, fractional executives, what have you, and we're selling what's between our ears, we're just not equipped when we come out of corporate or wherever we've come from to price our services adequately. And invariably, we don't price them well enough, high enough.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm curious because, as you know, I come from a sales background. And for somebody who doesn't come from a sales background, who isn't comfortable maybe presenting a pricing sheet or, a proposal or whatever whatever the case might be. I mean, sometimes saying like, "Hey, my services are, $2,000, my $5,000, whatever," like that can be kind of a nerve-wracking thing. Do you feel like it's more like fear driving people drive to push their prices lower, or is it some other factor?
Well, it's certainly fear.
Mm.
So it's fear of a lot of things. It's fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
When you push that proposal across the table, is there any more fearful moment than that, right?
Yes.
uh, when you are, even when you're thinking about how to price something, you're in fear of rejection,
Mm.
and and so there's a number of fear-based emotions that are going on here. But I think some of it is simply ignorance
Mm.
and not knowing what you don't know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we will get into deciding, particularly if we're in the custom business of dispensing our knowledge, whether we're a consultant or a coach like you or what have you, and we're trying to come up with that proposal. We get into it and we realize there's some holes in our knowledge
Yeah.
about this client that maybe we haven't had the great discussion we thought we had with that client, and we don't know how to address some of the needs that client has.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem as well.
Interesting. Well, and again, because I feel like you and I are kind of, two sides of the same coin, right? Where like you're talking about pricing a lot, and I talk about sales a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're very much hand in hand, right? Like I can't do my job without you, and you maybe can't do your job without me, right?
Right.
So I'm really curious, 'cause I want to kind of take this step by step, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
So for anybody out there listening that maybe is, maybe like they're an up and coming coach, or maybe they are some of these other folks like attorneys or accountants that are, again, selling essentially what's between their ears, right?
Right.
If they're just kind of getting started, either maybe they're on their own or maybe they're trying to start a firm or whatever the case might be. I mean, how do you start? How do you start like just pricing some of these things?
Well, first of all, you've got to start with giving yourself grace, because this is a journey. It's why I call my podcast the Price and Value Journey.
Yep.
It is a journey, and you will never get it exactly right. Here's why. Because you can't cut off the top of someone's head, look down into their brain, and know exactly how they value things.
Yep.
You've got to rely on your ability to question, to have a great value conversation, and for that client to share with you. And that's a talent that you develop. Some people call that sales. And you do a good job of explaining, let's not necessarily call it sales. Let's just call it serving the client, right?
Yeah.
Let's call it getting to know the client and their needs, hopes, wants, desires, fears. And if we can solve them, great. If we can't solve them, we're going to find somebody that will. Mm-hmm. And having that mindset of generosity first and approaching people that way gets you a lot further than simply going at it trying to sell.
Yes.
In the slick version of what that term means for some folks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me personally, I think of it as like consulting somebody, right? Like you're coming with a lot of curiosity, trying to understand like, okay, why does this person feel like they might need my accounting services or, want to hire me as a lawyer or whatever the case might be, and really trying to understand. I mean, again, sales terms, again, to use the S word, right?
Right.
Again, in sales terms, we talk about like coming from curiosity, and like I've seen metrics that say we need to ask at least 12 questions in order to find roughly 4 pain points. Then once we hit those pain points and get to that quantity, typically, then we can start talking about having some business conversations because we know the client well enough. I mean, I guess the next question I would have is, because I feel like I would have to imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, that a lot of your work is on kind of like the two things, like helping somebody to find that price point of where they should be, but then also I would think helping them get maybe comfortable with it, because I would imagine a lot of the time you're probably telling them, listen, you're not worth 2 grand, you're worth four. So we need to talk about
Mm.
that. So, I mean, how do you help somebody get more comfortable with increasing their rates?
Well, first of all, what I try to get people comfortable with is not necessarily helping them set a particular rate,
Mm,
but asking the questions that they need to ask to get to where clients see value.
yeah.
And see, this is the big, you might call it the big, hairy, audacious idea that I have in my book